Welcome to News West 9's West Texas View with Johnny Lou Avery.
Welcome to the West Texas View. I'm Johnny Lou Avery, and I am so pleased to have with us our guest today, John Trischitti, and probably from now on I'll just call him Mr. T because that's a pretty hard name to pronounce. But he's the director of the Midland County Public Libraries. And if you haven't really known the total scope of a public library these days, you're going to learn a lot today. And it's my delight to introduce John to you. And I want you, first of all, before we start, talk about you a little bit. Okay. And your background and how you got to the Midland County Library.
Well, thanks for having me.
Okay.
I'm a West Texas native, grew up in Lubbock, got my undergraduate degree at Wayland Baptist in Plainview. Worked actually as a sports writer, was my first job ever out of college. I got a degree in English literature and journalism. Worked at the Brownfield News right up the road, so always kind of stayed in West Texas. Kind of backed my way into library work, went to University of North Texas in Denton for my master's in library science degree and worked in libraries in the Dallas area.
Which is kind of a mecca for library science.
Yes, it is. There's only 3 universities in the state that are accredited, Texas Women's, UNT, and UT Austin. So went to UNT, spent most of my early library work in the Dallas Metroplex. My mother's health declined, and so we felt like we needed to get back to West Texas, and the wife and I wanted to raise the kids out here, and so the director's job in Midland came open, and I was very blessed and very fortunate that they selected me. Beginning my 5th year as the director. Wow, so time flies, but it's been a really, really good run. So that's kind of the Cliff Notes version of my life and how I got to Midland.
And one of the neat things about coming to Midland to work in this public library is this has always been a very progressive community, a very progressive area, and so you don't have much trouble with people saying no to you when
yes,
you
we've
say
been
we've
very,
got some great programs.
Very fortunate. Yes, we have wonderful community support. We have very good political support, which is important because they kind of hold the purse strings. It always helps when oil's a little higher than it is currently.
Right, that's right.
But we've been very blessed to do a lot of things.
Talk a little bit about the structure of the library, and I know that it's considered a county library,
Sure.
but more than just the county helps.
Right. So the organizational structure, we are pretty much completely funded by Midland County. We're a county library. We're a county department. All of my employees are county employees. I'm a county employee. We answer directly to the Commissioner's Court and the county judge. They kind of set our budget. We get a little bit of funding here and there from the state. We have a library foundation that's very supportive for things that you can't spend taxpayers' dollars on.
Friends of the Library are the best people in the world.
And Friends of the Library is good. We have those, so there's 2 organizations. There's Friends of the Library and there's the Library Foundation. And so those are the things that the bells and whistles, we say that the county provides the cake and the foundation kind of provides the icing. So we say it's the people's library. I mean, it's your taxpayers' dollars that are really funding it. And so then the hierarchy after the commissioners is myself, and then I have an administrative staff. But it's not just Midland County, you're right. We serve by contract or by kind of our bylaws, we serve Midland County and the 8 adjacent counties to us as far as library card holders. Now, you can get a library card outside of that, but it's not free at that point. But we have a lot of collaborative relationships with people beyond just those 8 counties. We're doing things with Alpine and Marfa, some cultural exchange type things. So we really feel like that we have a broad reach in the Permian Basin and eastern New Mexico and West Texas for what we're trying to do as far as being a dynamic, engaging public library for the citizens.
And one of the things that you find is that there's a real interest, I think, among libraries. You probably have a great working relationship with the Odessa Library and the Big Spring, even though you don't consider them as your direct partners, like you do these 8 counties.
Yeah, we're all in it together. We're all fighting the same fights.
And you work really closely with the college libraries.
Yes.
You work closely with all kinds of at the state level.
Well, in the
the lending library,
public school libraries,
yeah,
you know, I mean, we're all kind of have the same goal. We go about it different ways, you know. Certainly the charge that a school library has is a little bit different than a public library has, or even an academic library at a university. But at the end of the day, we're all about literacy, we're all about education, we're all about those resources being attainable for everyone.
And it's when a library falters in a community that the community falters. They don't realize the value until it's gone.
That's very true.
And so I've been in communities where the county commissioners or the city fathers, for some reason or another, quit funding the library.
The public library needs to be viewed like, you know, you do public schools or public parks.
Right.
It's a quality of life
that is exactly
issue,
right.
and so all great communities that are dynamic and thriving have a dynamic and thriving public library.
But in the days of Andrew Carnegie, when it was just books,
Sure.
well, it's certainly not just books now.
No, it's not books anymore. Not just books.
Yeah, not just books. That's still, for people my age, we still want that book that we can read.
Well,
but we
people
also
my
have
age.
but we still have a Kindle with us
Yes,
too.
exactly. Yeah, it's nice. No, the library's really changed over the years, and really dynamically changed in the last decade. We're not getting out of the book business. We're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You know, we're always going to be in the book business, but there are so many other things that we offer. Not just ebook resources, you know, but, you know, movies, database, genealogy work, and then a myriad of programming. You know, people forget about all the programming we offer. Everyone thinks about children's story time, which will always be a staple of library programming, but we're doing a lot of other things for both children and adults.
And the summer reading program is absolutely the mainstay.
Thousands of kids every year go through that summer reading program. We try to help students not have that summer slide that they do from May through to September. And actually this year we're also having an adult summer reading program, which will be like a giant book club, we hope. And so there's a lot of different avenues. It's not just books. In Midland especially, we really feel like we're on the forefront of kind of changing the definition and what you should expect from your public library.
And when we come back after the break, I want us to talk about how the history of the library has been changed with technology.
Absolutely.
And how you've embraced that. We're going to have to take a break right now. We'll be back in just a minute. Join us then.
Stay tuned. West Texas View will be right back.